Hello students, good evening all. Are you ready guys? Is everything clear? Is my voice audible? The video is clear? Any one of you just text me? Okay, I will verify my mobile. Yes. Okay, good to go now. Hello students, good evening all. Welcome to Unacademy, the largest learning online education platform in India. Unacademy providing a lot of free live lectures in its Unacademy platform and also YouTube platform to you. So you are glad to have knowledge from top educators in India through this Unacademy and other online learning platforms. Shall we go for audible, clear, very good. Sai Tejasvi, Sai Pavan, hi Sai Pavan, Abhinav Nanduri, Prakash 9995, I think Banu Prakash this is. Okay, we are good to start the class now. So yesterday we discussed air pollution part 1. For the new students who have joined, again I am going to repeat about myself. Old students don't get bored. The new students have to know me very well. Na? Old students know me, they spread regarding my teaching and other things. But old students also have to know about me. So myself, Krishna Prakash, have 10 years of GATE and ESC teaching experience in civil engineering. And I am going to teach the subjects environmental engineering, hydrology, irrigation, open channel flow, and also energy and environment from general studies of IES. I have an experience of 150 plus batches. I taught to 150 plus batches and trained n number of students, several thousands of students, and helped to get their ranks. I'm ex-ACE Academy faculty. I taught in all the big institutes in India. Now to help more number of students to reach out several students at a time, I am entering into online platform, because classroom is a confined space. So if we go for online coaching, so unlimited students can reach it from any part of the country, from remote places, towns and villages also. Students can watch the free live classes. So I am entering into this online live classes feeling. So now we are going to have a live session today regarding air pollution. Okay, we'll go ahead with the topic. Yesterday what we have discussed regarding air pollution. So this is air pollution part 2. Part 1 yesterday we have finished. Air pollution part 2. Yesterday we completed. What we completed? Air pollution, introduction, sources or causes of air pollution and its types. And also we completed types of air pollutants. Now the remaining individual air pollutants and their effects, their concentration units and its conversions. So today what we are discussing, individual air pollutants, their effects, estimation of concentration units and their conversions. Today we are going to discuss. And yesterday in the YouTube live, one student texted a message, "Sir, please give some time for writing." Very good. Giving some time for writing is also very good. But some students, if I wait 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes like that, some students getting bored. So my dear student, don't worry if you want to write. This live class will be stored in the YouTube as a recorded version after the completion of class. From this recorded version you can write. You can drag the mouse, you can drag the video wherever you want, you pass it, you can write the notes and you can continue it, so that no problem for writing the notes. Okay, in live session you go through the subject, you focus on the subject, learn the subject. If you have doubts, text it. Okay, in the yesterday's messages I have seen, so one student have written, "Give some time for writing." So regarding writing, in this live session we can't provide, because different students have different speed of writing. So you do one thing, you go for recorded video, you can pause it, you can write and go for next topic like that. first you focus on the subject concept. Okay, learn the subject now. So before going to start part 2, from the yesterday's class, I want to solve previous questions from GATE and IS. So yesterday's class, previous question, theoretical questions. First question. Consider 4 common air pollutants found in urban environments. 4 air pollutants: NO, SO2, soot and ozone. Among these, which one is the secondary air pollutant? Which one is secondary air pollutant? Good evening, Ashwin. So yesterday I told you, while giving examples for primary and secondary, clearly mentioned, the questions most repeated in air pollution is related to examples for primary and examples for secondary air pollutants. So identify the list, I said. Now they have given the list. Nitrous oxide, that is a primary air pollutant. Sulfur dioxide, also primary air pollutant, we have written. Soot is a black carbon mass. When coal is burned, cooking gas is burned, the black color powdered mass generated, that is said to be soot. That is also primary air pollutant. A. So remaining, ozone. So most of the students opted A. Very good. So I feel very happy. You have answered option A, means all the students have followed yesterday's class. They learned something. I feel very happy today. So they have given correct answer, option A, ozone. Ozone is a secondary air pollutant. Because ozone is formed due to chemical interaction of certain primary air pollutants and solar radiation in the atmosphere. So as a resultant of chemical reaction between primary air pollutants and solar radiation, ozone is generated. That is a secondary air pollutant. Next question. The atmospheric layer closest to the Earth's surface is. So this is a straightforward question, no twist in this question. Yesterday we have given layers or zones of atmosphere. What is the answer? Abhinav answered B. No, it is D. Yes, Abhinav corrected. Closest. D. Prakash, you have answered C. Okay, fourth one C you have given answer. So Prakash is very forward. He answered for fourth one. Okay, we'll go step by step. Troposphere is the zone of Earth, zone of atmosphere, which is closest to the Earth's surface and where most of the weather phenomena occur. Yesterday we have written this one also, but this is important. Again I am writing. So D is the answer. So everyone answered D. No one have doubt regarding this. Now, which one of the following is not present in acid rain? So clearly in the last minute I have given. When fuel burnt, it releases carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. That combines with water vapor resulted HNO3, H2SO4, H2CO3. 3 forms of acid rain. What is not possible? Clearly mentioned, not present. Not present. CH3COOH, which is called acetic acid. This kind of organic acid rains are not possible. Mineral acids, HNO3, H2SO4, H2CO3, these are said to be mineral acids. Mineral acids are forming acid rain. So CH3COOH is organic acid which is not capable of forming. Then 2 primary air pollutants are. I told you already. Identify list of primary air pollutants. This is the list. Sulfur oxide and ozone. Ozone, just now we have answered. Ozone is secondary. So we can eliminate option carrying ozone now. Then remaining 2 options. Nitrogen oxide, peroxyacetyl nitrate. This is secondary. Peroxyacetyl nitrate is secondary. So what is answer? Sulfur oxide and hydrocarbons are primary air pollutants. Got it? Next one. Consider the following statements related to ozone. Tropospheric ozone is harmful. Correct. Stratospheric ozone is harmless. This is also correct. During prevalence of photochemical smog, ozone is formed. I told you already. Photochemical reactions happen in the atmosphere. Primary air pollutants interact with the solar radiation resulted photochemical smog. That photochemical smog generates secondary air pollutant, that is ozone. So all three statements are correct. Clear? So what is the answer now for this question? A. Subhajit Banerjee. Astosh Agarwal, what? Yes, you said yes. So option A, Banu Prakash answered A, Subhajit Banerjee answered A. So all the three statements are correct. 1, 2, 3. Troposphere ozone is harmful, clearly written. Stratosphere ozone is harmless. Yesterday we have written clearly in the diagram also. Prevalence of photochemical smog, ozone is formed. So 1, 2, 3, all three are correct. Then ozone layer present in the atmosphere protects life on earth by not permitting harmful radiations present in the sunlight to penetrate through it. Ozone layer, this is the question actually. Unnecessary, first data is unnecessary. Ozone layer is formed by the reaction of, tell me. Ozone layer is formed by the reaction of? This answer. So Banu Prakash answered 6th question C. Any other answers? Sahil Sinha answer A. Abhishek Singh answer C. C. Subhajit answer A. No. They are asking how ozone layer is formed by reaction of, not depleted by reaction of. That is very important thing you need to remember. Depleted by reaction of, answer is A. Ozone layer depletion. Then you give the answer option A, CFC on ozone. CFC on oxygen. CFC on oxygen. But the question is, ozone layer is formed, yesterday we explained, na? Solar ultraviolet light radiation on oxygen. So UV light radiation plus 3 oxygens gives 2 ozone. This ozone is formed, ozone layer. So remember, answer for ozone layer formation, option C. For ozone layer depletion, the answer is option A. But the question is clearly mentioned, ozone layer is formed by the reaction of solar radiation on oxygen. Clear for everyone? How to build triceps? How to stay muscular? Killer boy. This is not the class of building biceps, muscles and other things. Just leave the class. This is unnecessary question for you, Mr. Killer boy. You are coming to learn the subject, or you are coming to learn biceps and all those things. Then the topic now we are discussing here, concentration units of air pollutants. So this is the basic numerical question required for air pollution. Very important question also. So in air pollutants, the unit of expressing concentration is microgram per meter cube. Clear? How can I watch previous video? Aman Singh, previous video you go for Unacademy Live or text me. I will send the link to you. Aman Singh, I think you are in the group. You text me, or you simply type air pollution civil engineering part 1 in YouTube. It will come. Okay. You type air pollution civil engineering part 1, you will get link about it, YouTube. Yes. The concentration of air pollutant, whatever it may be, particulate matter, gases, whatever it may be, the units for expression, microgram per meter cube. The units for expressing air pollutants, microgram per meter cube. If we consider how to convert microgram per meter cube to ppm, how will convert this microgram per meter cube to ppm? Shall we write down 1 microgram per meter cube is equal to 1 ppm? Shall we write down like this? Like how what we have written in water pollution. In water pollution we are going to write now 1 mg per liter is equal to 1 ppm. Same manner shall we write here 1 microgram per meter cube is equal to 1 ppm? No, not possible. Then few people consider 1 microgram per meter cube is equal to 10 power minus 3 milligram divided by 1000 liter, which is equal to 10 power minus 6 milligram per liter. And also, as we know from water pollution, 1 mg per liter is equal to 1 ppm. So now we can write down 1 microgram per meter cube is equal to 10 power minus 6. Instead of milligram per liter, we can write down ppm. So is it correct? 1 microgram per meter cube is equal to 10 power minus 6 ppm. First we are converting microgram per meter cube to mg per liter. 1 mg per liter is equal to 1 ppm. So we are going to write 1 microgram per meter cube is equal to 10 power minus 6 ppm. Is it correct? No. Remember, this is also not correct. Then why writing and again striking off this is not correct, this is not correct? Why writing and striking off? Because if you have written this one in your notes, you are not going to do these mistakes in examination. If you have not noted down this in notes, in simple, few students will take directly 100 microgram per meter cube is equal to 100 ppm. Few students will take 100 microgram per meter cube is equal to 100 into 10 power minus 6, 10 power minus 4 ppm. But that conversion is not possible for air pollutants. Clear? That is for water pollutants. We are discussing air pollutant. Why? What is the difference between water and air? What is the difference between water and air? Because water is having fixed volume. Air is not having fixed volume. For example, I say 1 liter of water you have taken and filled into 2 liter water bottle. What is water volume? What is water volume? 1 liter water loaded into 2 liters container, bottle. What is water volume? That is 1 liter only. But if you take 1 liter of gas filled, loaded into 2 liter container, gas volume increases. That increased volume we call it as 2 liters now. So depending upon container size. Another example I will tell. 1 liter water you have and you will be provided with a 500 ml container, 500 ml water bottle. Will you fill total water into it? Yes, law of universal gas should be used. Correct, Vedant, very good. So I have given 1 liter water and asked to fill into 500 ml container. Is it possible? No, it is not at all possible. But I have given 1 liter gas, asked to fill into 500 ml container. It is possible. By increasing pressure, we can reduce volume. So the meaning of this, volume occupied by gas is not fixed. volume occupied by gas not fixed. It is depending upon temperature and pressure. Got it? Got it, everyone? Volume occupied by the gas not fixed. It is changing with respect to temperature and pressure. So now we are going to write down. Now we are converting. First conversion what we are doing. Conversion what we are doing is the data is given X gas or X pollutant given parts per million. You have to convert to microgram per meter cube. X is given in parts per million. X given parts per million. You have to express microgram per meter cube. Remember X, what is X? It may be carbon dioxide, it may be sulfur dioxide, it may be methane, whatever it may be. Some chemical component. X in microgram per meter cube is equal to. Given is X in parts per million, ppm. Remember, I am giving a simple, sweet shortcut formula. Just direct formula substitution, you will get the answer. X in microgram per meter cube is equal to X in ppm into molecular weight of X divided by volume. Molecular weight of X divided by volume. This volume we are taking liter per mole. Remember, this is very important. So volume you are taking in liter per mole, but you need to express in meter cube. So liter to meter cube will convert 10 power minus 3. 1 liter is equal to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. Where this 10 power minus 3? In denominator. That means 1 by 10 power minus 3. How can we take? 1000. Clear? 1 by 10 power minus 3. So we'll take 1000 in the numerator. So in the denominator volume always you are taking in liters, because you are multiplied in the numerator with 1000. So you are expressing X in microgram per meter cube. So X in microgram per meter cube is equal to X in parts per million, ppm, into molecular weight of X by volume occupied by the gas, volume occupied by the X into 1000. Then second conversion I am going to tell you. Second unit conversion you need. Concentration of X is given in ppb, parts per billion, and that is to be converted to microgram per meter cube. Concentration of X given in parts per billion, ppb, that is to be converted to microgram per meter cube. Simple, very, very simple. So same, X is required microgram per meter cube, and X is given in parts per billion, because X in ppb divided by 1000 is equal to X in ppm. Okay, that means in place of X in ppm we are taking X in ppb by 1000. So this 1000 and this 1000 is cancelled. Simple remaining. X in ppb into molecular weight of X by volume, same volume in liter per mole. We have taken this 1000, but that 1000 was cancelled by unit conversion, X in ppb by 1000. Got it? Subhajit Banerjee, for this point liter per mole last 2 marks in GATE 2020. So remember this one, Subhajit. So x in microgram per meter cube is equal to x in ppb into molecular weight of x by volume. That volume expressed in liter per mole, not liter per meter cube, liter per mole. Got it? Two formulas we have, unit conversion. ppm to microgram per meter cube, ppb to microgram per meter cube. Both cases, what we require? Molecular weight, volume. Molecular weight, we know it. What is molecular weight? So most of the students know about it. In simple, I will say molecular weight is equal to sum of atomic weights of elements. Molecular weight is equal to sum of atomic weights of elements. For example, I will show you here. You require molecular weight of carbon dioxide. Carbon atomic weight is 12 plus 2 oxygens are there. Each oxygen atomic weight is 16. So total carbon dioxide molecular weight, we can write it down as 44. Clear? Got it for everyone? Molecular weight is the sum of atomic weights. For example, carbon dioxide, carbon 12, oxygen 2 atoms are there, each 16, 2 into 16. So total 44 is a molecular weight of carbon dioxide. Okay. We'll estimate molecular weight like this. Then, how can you get volume occupied by X in the units of liter per mole? How can you get volume occupied by X in the units of liter per mole? Here there are two possible conditions. If no information regarding temperature and pressure, or if information is given, temperature is 273 Kelvin or it may be said to be 0 degrees Celsius, pressure is 1 atmosphere. Clear? Whether in your numerical question, no information about temperature and pressure, you take it as STP, standard temperature and pressure. Then if nothing is given, happy, no need to worry. If temperature is given and that is 273 Kelvin or 0 degrees Celsius, pressure is given 1 atmosphere, both given, but both are standard values only. Then what you take volume? What you take volume? Volume is equal to 22.4 liters per mole. 22.4 liters per mole. From where we got this? This we got from Avogadro's law. The statement of Avogadro's law. 1 mole of any gas, the gas may be anything, at a standard temperature of 273 Kelvin and standard pressure of 1 atmosphere, always occupy 22.4 liters volume. That is the statement of Avogadro's law. Clear? The basic statement of Avogadro's law we are considering here. Volume occupied by any gas at a standard temperature and pressure of 1 mole. 1 mole is 22.4 liter. And that is expressed mathematically using Avogadro's equation, PV is equal to NRT. Actually, in so many coaching centers and textbooks and materials they have written, PV is equal to NRT, so many values are given, finally volume is derived. All this is not required. You are a civil engineering student, you need to know how to solve the question. All this calculation, derivations not required for exam. So if temperature and pressure is given, blindly substitute 22.4. Temperature 273 Kelvin, pressure 1 atmosphere is given. in the previous formula, in this formula, directly take volume 22.4 liters, easily your question is completed. Second condition, conditions other than STP. So if temperature is not 273, pressure is not 1 atmosphere, conditions other than STP, they have provided some other conditions. What you will do? Temperature is not 0 degrees Celsius, pressure is not 1 atmosphere. For example, temperature 10 degrees Celsius, pressure 1.5, modified, non-STP. Then don't worry, again I will give you simplified formula. Few people will say, use P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. P1 V1 T1, these are standard temperature, pressure and volume. P2 V2 T2, these are given condition. Given pressure, given temperature substituted, will get a volume. And PV by T is equal to constant. So we don't want all these things, because I will give you a secret here. This is a secret formula. Directly you are getting volume. Simply you take one factor 0.082 into temperature by pressure, given temperature by given pressure. So this is secret, don't share with anyone. Only those who watch my video only should know. The remaining students don't get this one. The remaining students are roaming around. P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2, or PV is equal to nRT, substituting all the values, formulas, equation, wasting their time in exam. Just this one, if you remember, 0.082 factor. You are taking temperature in Kelvin, pressure in atmosphere. 0.082 into given temperature by given pressure. You will get volume in liter per mole. Don't waste your time in examination, that is very important. Clear? You have to solve the question in 2 minutes. So this shortcut formula is very helpful for competitive exam to save your time. So this is a secret formula. So remember, keep it secret only. Don't share with those students who have not attended the class. So this is the benefit you got by this class. V is equal to 0.082 into T by P. Wherever you observe textbook material, notes of other faculty, other coaching center, they show either by PV is equal to nRT or by P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. Finally, they will get the volume using this formula answer only. So remember this one, 0.082 into T by P, then that is substituted here. So simple question. First, by reading that concentration, you can observe whether temperature, pressure are given and they are STP or not. If they are STP, first condition you take 22.4 liter. Non-STP, then substitute in 0.082 into given temperature by given pressure, you will get the volume. Substitute volume here, you will get the X in microgram per meter cube. The simple best formulas, shortcut formulas. If you go for the big coaching center materials and notebooks, you have long derivations to solve the question and a lot of confusion. So just remember this 1 and 2 formula, X in ppm into molecular weight of X by volume into 1000, X in ppb into molecular weight by volume, simple formula. Then V is equal to 22.4 liter per mole at STP. V is equal to 0.082 into T by P. Simply you solve the questions related to air pollution unit conversion. Is there any difficulty in this topic here? Long derivations don't want. We are going for a competitive exam to solve the question only. So simple solution for the question I have provided to you. The short and sweet solution I have provided to you. Clear? Yes, Abhishek Singh I have given other than STP also. Abhishek Singh is in hurry. He need other than STP. Clear? Okay. So we are going to solve the numerical questions now. Express 400 microgram per mole sorry, microgram per meter cube. Remember this one. 400 microgram per meter cube. सर आप सही एक रिक्वेस्ट है, जस्ट क्लियरली से आप पढ़ाते तो प्लीज आप सिविल के सारे सब्जेक्ट्स तो पढ़ाते हो सर प्लीज. Yes, Abhishek Singh, I am going to teach nearly 5 subjects. If I am going to teach more than 5 subjects, you are getting bored. So first learn these 5 subjects. Later on, we'll think about remaining subjects. Okay. Express 400 microgram per meter cube of carbon dioxide in ppm and ppb at STP. So question is simplified, easily given for us. STP, they mentioned STP means volume is equal to 22.4 liter per mole. Simple na, STP given, volume is equal to 22.4 liter per mole. Then carbon dioxide molecular weight. It is molecular weight of carbon dioxide. Carbon 12, oxygen 2 into 16, 44. Now 400 microgram per meter cube given. 400 microgram per meter cube is given. That is equal to required first ppm, carbon dioxide in ppm into molecular weight. What is molecular weight? 44 divided by 22.4 into 1000 into 1000. So Subhajit already finished the question. 0.203 ppm. So carbon dioxide is equal to, carbon dioxide in ppm is equal to 0.203 ppm. Very good, Subhajit. This fastness is only required. This fastness is only required in GATE and IS examination. But this fastness only will give you sometimes, not always, sometimes. If you have not having clarity about units to express, you will get negative marks sometimes. But if you have clarity regarding units to express, it is easy. Now, carbon dioxide in ppb, simple. Carbon dioxide in ppm into 1000. Why? We are given clearly, na? See here, x in ppb by 1000 is equal to x in ppm. So x in ppb is equal to x in ppm into 1000. The same thing we did here. X in parts per billion is equal to x in parts per million into 1000. So 0.203 into 1000. 203. Clear? 203 ppb. Who have answered? Aswin answered. Subhajit answered. Deepak Kumar, very good Deepak Kumar. Aswin Venkat, Prakash, Vishwam Manoj, Abhishek Singh, Naresh Chauhan. Tomorrow schedule, same schedule Naresh Chauhan, no change. 8:30 to 9:30, air pollution part 3 will go ahead. Till air pollution completion will continue YouTube classes 8:30 to 9:30 schedule only. So I think you are asking now tomorrow schedule means you are leaving the class. Don't leave the class, some more 20 minutes class is there. So we'll go for the next question. This one completed. The mean indoor airborne chloroform concentration. This is a previous GATE examination question. The mean airborne indoor chloroform concentration, CHCl3 concentration, 0.4 microgram per meter cube. The difference, temperature 293 Kelvin. Pressure, okay, 1 atmosphere, standard only na? Pressure is standard only, no need to worry. But the temperature 293 Kelvin. R value, because we have some short and sweet formula. We don't want R value and other things. We directly go for solving. So volume is equal to 0.082 into 273 by 1. So we'll take 0.082 into 293. 0.082 into 293 by 1. That is said to be volume. So Abhishek Singh is very fast. So that is previous question. Okay. 203. Abhishek Singh has given previous question. Volume 0.082 into 293 by 1. CHCl3. We need molecular weight. CHCl3, carbon 12 given na, carbon 12, hydrogen 1, chlorine 35.5. Carbon 12, hydrogen 1, chlorine 3 are there. 3 into 35.5. 3 into 35.5. Why we are calculating in ppm or ppb? So ppm parts per million and ppb parts per billion. These are the universal units, because in water also we are expressing in parts per million. So per 1 million parts of the gas, how many parts of pollutants are present? Means if you say 1 liter of a gas, 1 liter of a gas consists of 1 million parts of gas. In that 1 million parts of pure gas, how many parts of impure gases are present? In simple, 1 million parts of fresh air, how many parts of CHCl3 is present? 1 million parts of fresh air, how many parts of carbon dioxide is present? That is expressed in terms of ppm, parts per million. So what is CHCl3 molecular weight? CHCl3 molecular weight 12 plus 1 plus 35.5, 119.5. This is molecular weight of CHCl3. Now we require CHCl3 in what units? Parts per billion, ppb. Given, what is given? Microgram per meter cube is given. 4 microgram per meter cube is given. So 4 is substitute in our formula. 4 microgram per meter cube is equal to CHCl3 in ppb into molecular weight 119.5 divided by, what is divided by? Volume 0.082 into 293 temperature. Then after solving, we will get CHCl3 in ppb parts per billion. What you will get? 0.08. Yes, this one not 4. Very good. Good observation. This is 0.4. 0.08 ppb. Got it? Aswin, very good observation. That is 0.4 microgram per meter cube you have taken. So answer is 0.08 parts per billion. So everyone got the answer? Answer is option D, 0.08 ppb. Clear? We'll go for next one. The concentration of sulfur dioxide in ambient air 30 microgram per meter cube, SO2. SO2, 30 microgram per meter cube. Under the same condition, above sulfur dioxide concentration in ppm. Generally in exam we read a question up to this only. We left it, we start solving the question. But a very important thing they have provided, P by RT is equal to 41.6 mole per meter cube. P by RT is equal to 41.6 mole per meter cube. What is this P by RT? So when we take Avogadro's equation, PV is equal to nRT, then volume is equal to nRT by P. But without knowing this P by RT, some people directly take it as V, volume. So if you are not considering anything regarding P by RT, anything you have not considered about this, directly you started substituting in ppm, option A. If you take P by RT as volume, started substituting, P by RT as volume, started substituting. That is option B. But actually, what is P by RT? 1 by V. 1 by V. 1 by V is equal to P by nRT. They considered n is equal to 1, so P by RT is equal to 1 by V. So what is V now? V is equal to 1 by 41.6. 1 by V is equal to P by RT, that is equal to 41.6. Then V is equal to 1 by 41.6. It is the unit, meter cube per mole. Then we solve question considering directly V is equal to 1 by 41.6. That is option C. But in which units volume is required? Clearly we have written in the formulas now. Which units volume is required? Liter per mole. Remember, we require volume in the units liter per mole, not in meter cube per mole. So V is equal to 1000 by 41.6 liter per mole. So remember this point. So finally you derived volume from given P by RT. Got it? From given P by RT is 1 by V. Then V is equal to 1 by 41.6. So V is equal to 1 by 41.6 meter cube per mole. 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liter. So 1000 by 41.6 liter per mole. Now what is given? Given is sulfur dioxide. Got it? What is given? Given is sulfur dioxide, 30 microgram per meter cube. Sulfur dioxide 30 microgram per meter cube. Now we can write down sulfur 32 molecular weight plus oxygen 2 into how many? 16. So 64. 64 is molecular weight of sulfur dioxide. 64 is molecular weight of sulfur dioxide. So we can write down 30 microgram per meter cube is equal to sulfur dioxide required in ppm into molecular weight 64, volume 1000 by, what is given volume? 1000 by 41.6. 1000 by 41.6 into 1000. Now we need to express sulfur dioxide in the units of parts per million. 1000 getting cancelled. Then what is the value of sulfur dioxide in ppm now? Tell me what is the answer? 0.01126 ppm. Very good, Subhajit. 0.011 ppm. This is the answer. Got the clarity? The most simplest form of determination. The only confusion, see how few confusions here. Regarding this P by RT, if you understand this point, and the second one you need to understand volume is required in liter per mole. If you understand these 2 points, question is completed. So everyone answered, very good. Ashwin, Deepak Kumar, Subhajit, Engineering Guru, Vishwam Manoj, Arpan Kohli, everyone answered, very good. Volume in liter per mole. P by RT is not V, P by RT is 1 by V. 2 important points you need to remember. Easily you solve the question. Clear? Done. Then we'll discuss regarding small portion. Before 10 minutes class, I will finish it, 10 minutes. Before that, small portion will finish off. Major air pollutants. In the atmosphere, there are various n number of air pollutants are there. Those n number of air pollutants, we have differentiated majorly. Carbon monoxide, highest air pollutant, carbon monoxide 48%. Emissions, especially we are talking only about, remember, primary air pollutant, classification of primary air pollutant. Carbon monoxide 48%, sulfur oxides SOx 16%, nitrogen oxides 16%, particulate matter 5%, volatile organic matter VOM 15%, remaining very small, negligible, rare concentrations. So major primary air pollutants we have classified. Carbon monoxide 48%, sulfur oxide 16%, and nitrogen oxide 16%, particulate matter 5%, volatile organic matter 15%. Then in that, the first one we are going to discuss. Carbon monoxide. We are discussing about carbon monoxide. So these are said to be sources of release of carbon monoxide. This pie diagram. If I have given a diagram, that is easy for you to understand. If you write like a notes, so you are confusing, and that is simply dictating some theory information. If I give you some diagram, that picturization will be impressed on your brain. So I have drawn a pie diagram here. Sources. Major source is vehicles, road vehicles, on-road vehicles, 56%. Non-road vehicles and engines, like trains. So road vehicles are buses, cars, bikes and other things. Road vehicles, 56%. Trains and aeroplanes, non-road vehicles. Engines used in various industries, 22%. That means overall, vehicular emission releases 78% of carbon monoxide. Then fuel combustion, 6% of carbon monoxide. Industrial process, 4%, remaining all combinedly 12% of carbon monoxide. Here, the major cause of carbon monoxide. It is major cause of carbon monoxide. Incomplete combustion of fuel. Incomplete combustion of fuel. The major cause of carbon monoxide, primarily incomplete combustion of fuel. That is primary cause. The very important word related to carbon monoxide you need to remember. Carbon monoxide is an acute toxicant. So what is an acute toxicant of all air pollutants? That is previous question. Carbon monoxide is an acute toxicant of all air pollutants. Why? Because this carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin of blood circulation. Releases a toxic compound carboxy hemoglobin. Generally, while we are taking fresh air, the oxygen component of the air combines with hemoglobin, resulting oxyhemoglobin. In this path, oxygen and hemoglobin both circulated to human body parts, where oxygen act as a fuel, hemoglobin act as a vehicle. Hemoglobin is a carrier that transports oxygen to every body organ. Both mutually benefited. Combinedly, oxygen and hemoglobin circulated to body organs. Oxygen act as a fuel and hemoglobin act as a vehicle. Vehicle and fuel both travel to each body part of human and circulated. If you have taken, instead of fresh air, an air polluted or contaminated with excess amounts of carbon monoxide, now that excess amounts of carbon monoxide entered into body, then it started interacting with hemoglobin. Clear? Hemoglobin. Then that carbon monoxide interacted with hemoglobin, forms an asphyxiant, carboxyhemoglobin. Carboxyhemoglobin is an asphyxiant. Asphyxiant is an agent. What it causes? Asphyxiant is an agent which causes breathlessness, coma. Asphyxiant is an agent which causes breathlessness or coma. Then, so blood circulation is disturbed and high doses of carbon monoxide, high concentration. Carbon monoxide is high concentration. Then it leads to severe heart to stroke, heart attack, and it may lead to death. So because of that reason, carbon monoxide is said to be acute toxicant in your body. Incomplete combustion of fuels are going to release carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is an acute toxicant in the human body. It results carboxyhemoglobin. Clear? Carboxyhemoglobin is an asphyxiant which causes breathlessness. You are going for coma. High doses leads to heart to strokes, heart attack, and leads to death. High doses are going to cause. Then estimation of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is going to be estimated by using NDIR analyzer. Estimation of carbon monoxide is carried out using NDIR analyzer. What is NDIR analyzer? Non-dispersive infrared analyzer. This is an instrument which is used to estimate direct death after excess intake. Yes, correct, Ashwin. Direct death only caused after excess intake. So NDIR analyzer is a non-dispersive infrared analyzer which is going to estimate amount of carbon monoxide. Then if carbon monoxide is present in atmosphere, it combines with oxygen in atmosphere, it releases carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide in atmosphere combines with oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Then limit. What is the permissible limit of carbon monoxide in atmosphere? Carbon monoxide is accepted up to 2 microgram per meter cube. Permissible limit of carbon monoxide, safe limit of carbon monoxide in the ambient air, atmospheric air, 2 microgram per meter cube. Got it? So that in this The most important point you need to remember, what is an acute toxicant in the air pollutants? Second one, permissible limit of carbon monoxide. Permissible limit is 2 microgram per meter cube. Then 1 hour finished easily. I never feel 1 hour is completed, but time is up. Okay. Any doubts in today's class, my dear students? Any doubts, you tell me, you text me. I am observing your messages in this another tab. Another device, I am observing your comments and messages. So anything, any doubts related to today's topic or yesterday's topic, we'll discuss and close the session for today. And we'll have again same session, same YouTube live, 8:30 to 9:30. Tomorrow, air pollution part 3. Okay. So no one is going to type anything. I think there are no doubts related to today and yesterday's topic. I think so. Everything is clear for everyone. Got it, the concepts? So do one thing. Solve some numerical questions related to concentration unit conversions. If you have any doubt, you WhatsApp me, text me. So you have my number also. This is my number, my WhatsApp number 9704571767. And I have my Telegram channel. I think most of the students will know it. Engineering Guru. ENGGGURU, Engineering Guru. So tomorrow same 8:30 p.m. YouTube live, air pollution part 3. And yesterday also I told you, if you want a full session of complete subject of GATE ESC, environmental engineering, clear, full session of GATE ESC environmental engineering, then you subscribe using my code, either KP Civil or Engineering Guru. You can use my code, either KP Civil or Engineering Guru. Yesterday some student asked, KP Civil not working. No, you check once, KP Civil is working properly. How n is equal to 1? If not given, we are assuming Manoj. N is equal to 1, n is not given, directly they have given P by RT. So you can assume it n is equal to 1, no issue regarding that, previous n is equal to 1. Okay. Then benefits of using my code KP Civil or Engineering Guru, you will get 10% discount. So every student will get 10% discount. Don't worry about this. Free online test series. So every faculty in Unacademy will say use my code, you will get 10% discount. But along with that, I am providing you free online test series. I have my own website, own channel and everything. I will provide you free online test series, the scanned copies of notes of all subjects and other materials related to GATE and ESC preparation. My panel of faculty will support you. And also we have doubt clearance session in WhatsApp group. And subscribe to my Telegram channel Engineering Guru. And a few students expressed some doubts. Sir, you are teaching very good. You teach 4 or 5 subjects. How we take by seeing your class only, how we will take GATE total subscription. So don't worry. Myself, Krishna Prakash, I am going to teach the subjects environmental engineering, hydrology, irrigation, construction management, construction materials and management, open channel flow. And my friend from Great Institute came, Rajendra Prasad, RP sir, people know it, RP sir, one big institute, he is also working in one big institute. He is also having 7 years of GATE teaching experience. He will teach transportation engineering, RCC, steel and structural analysis. One more friend is going to come soon into Unacademy platform. He is going to teach you geotechnical engineering, surveying. So all civil related subjects completed for you. Clear? I am going to teach 5 subjects, Rajendra Prasad 4 subjects, that other new, very big faculty from one of the big renowned institute, Great Institute is coming. He will teach geotech and surveying. And mathematics and aptitude, we have best faculty in Unacademy. So you go through that Unacademy mathematics and aptitude classes. You are going to tell me who is that best faculty. and also fluid mechanics, strength of materials, we have mechanical faculty who are teaching that. The civil part of FMHM I am teaching OCF open channel flow. Then fluid mechanics, strength of materials, Praveen Kulkarni sir is there. He will teach for civil engineering so that you will get best knowledge from him. So this waiting for hydrology class, sure Aswin, I will take it short time. I am waiting for geotechnical. Yes, one new faculty, he will satisfy more than you expected. One new faculty will come. So don't worry about syllabus completion, faculty feedback and all those things. I am the head for South Indian team of civil engineering in an academy, the English teaching faculty. I am the head for civil engineering in English teaching faculty. Whatever your doubt after taking subscription, whatever your problem related to an academy, I will solve, I will assure you. The only thing you want to do, you take subscription using my code KP Civil and get all the benefits. I will support you till you join a PSU or till you join NIT or IIT. Already those students who know me very well, they know how I supported them in their studies and career. So you also experience the same. Okay, tomorrow we'll meet again. Remember, this is my phone number and this is my civil, KP Civil is my code. And if you want to join Telegram channel Engineering Guru, ENGGGURU. So again we'll meet tomorrow. Until then, for today I am signing off. Bye bye, good night all of you.